Hello, everyone, and welcome to CRATV, where we talk about politics, policy, and politicians, all from a conservative perspective, right here in the great state of California. So please take a moment, like and share the program, and encourage your friends to do the same. And if you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook, make sure you hit that notification button. That way you'll be notified every single time we go live, and you can participate in the live chat as the program is taking place. Also, want to remind you, CRA is a membership organization. We are California's oldest and fastest growing conservative grassroots organization. We exist to help elect people from dog catcher all the way up to President of the United States. Elect people who share our conservative American values. But the only way that we can do that is with your help. So please take a moment, click on the join link in the description of this video, and become a member of the California Republican Assembly, a group that President Ronald Reagan called the conscience of the Republican Party. All right, let's get into today's topic. Well, as y'all know, while many state legislatures are already done and wrapped up with their business for the year, California, well, we tend to go a little bit long. I don't know, maybe we think we're a little more self-important, we're a little bit more important than the rest of the country. But needless to say, we're about to hit the final stretch. Going into August, we will be going into the final stretch for this legislative session. And there are a few bills that we've been following and we've been talking with you about here at CRA that we kind of wanted to give you an update on, let you know that these bills are still moving, let you know what they do, and let you know how you can take action on these bills. Now, this is a program that we've just started this year. It's a way in which for you to be able to send messages to those who are going to be voting on these bills. So what we're trying to do is trying to update you, let you know once again, what these bills are, why they're important, and then make it easy for you to be able to take action. Now, the way you do that is you simply just follow the take action link in the description to this video, and right when you get there, you'll be able to see all the bills that I'm talking about, and you'll be able to click right on them, and you'll be able to send a message, either your message or the message that's already there, the pre-written message, to the folks who are about to be voting on the measure. All right, let's get into it, shall we? All right, the first measure we're going to talk about is AB 1223. Now, this bill we've talked about before. It's a gun and ammunition tax. It's actually an excise tax, which means that they're not going to tax you, the individual. They're going to tax the person who sells it. Now, here's the crazy thing about it. Taxes for businesses are cost of doing business. And what they generally wind up doing is they wind up passing that cost on to guess who? You, the customer. That's right. It's going to be a 10% excise tax on firearms and then an 11% excise tax on long guns. I'm sorry, the other one is on handguns, on long guns as well as on ammunition. It's going to be 11% excise tax. Now, mind you, this is already one of the most highly regulated products in the entire country. Keep in mind that you already have to pay a DROS fee, which is supposed to go for a background check. Well, we could talk about where that money actually goes later, but it's supposed to go for a background check. You also have to take an emergency safety exam. There's a lot of money that goes into your ability, firearm safety exam. There's a lot of money that already goes into your ability to be able to keep and bear arms. And then on top of it, now they want to add an excise tax. Imagine them putting an excise tax on, well, I don't know, the right to freedom of speech or to freedom of religion or, whatever it may be. The challenge here, folks, is they're talking about taxing a fundamental civil right. It's basically an example of a poll tax. And the whole goal here, folks, is one thing, and that is to make it too expensive for individuals to be able to exercise their right to keep and bear arms. Because, well, the wealthy can afford to pay it. And if you are low income and in a community where you probably really need to be able to defend yourself, they're making sure that you will not have the ability to do so. That's AB 1223. Okay, now we're going to move along to AB 519. Now, this one has to do with the decriminalization of certain hallucinogenic drugs. And I'm going to look here and I'll kind of read some of the list to you. Some of the things that would now be considered legal for social sharing, hallucinogenic drugs such as mushrooms, LSD, MDMA, otherwise known as Molly or ecstasy, ketamine, All of these now would be drugs that it would be decriminalized, meaning it would be no crime to basically be in possession of these drugs. Now, their whole thing is they believe that people will be more likely to get treatment if it's not a crime. They believe that people will be less likely to do drugs, or if that were the case. But if we remove the crime from it, then we can actually treat individuals. The problem is that we really haven't seen that be the case, for example, with the legalization of marijuana. We have not removed any crime from marijuana. In fact, one of the things we've seen is a lot of crime, because it's not legal on the federal level. We've seen a lot of pot farms being robbed, or whatever they call them, dispensaries being robbed, because, well, they tend to be cash businesses because they have a very difficult time getting banked. The fact is, folks, is for the longest time we've had one drug that was considered legal for recreational use, and that was alcohol. Well, now we decided we're going to open up another one for legal use, and that second one was being marijuana. Now, all of a sudden, we're starting to see a floodgate. Now they're starting to decriminalize just about everything they can. And you can trust me that this will not be the last group of illicit drugs or illegal drugs, drugs that are currently illegal, that they are going to try and approve. You can be guaranteed, if this bill should pass, they're going to come back for more. In many cases, the only thing that gets some people to get treatment is the threat of criminal prosecution. If you remove the criminal prosecution, then you're going to have a lot of individuals who are going to be addicted to these narcotics, to these drugs, and they're basically there's not going to be an incentive for them a way in which to pressure them to get some sort of help. And so, therefore, we're opposed to AB 5 or SB 519. Okay, moving right along, we're now on to AB 1084. These are fines for department stores that separate child's toys or products via gender. That's right. That's how you can tell we have too much time in the California State Legislature. So, in other words, if you have the toys separated, boys' toys and girls' toys, in your store, you will now be fined. It is really that simple. So, in a state where business is reeling, where retailers are really looking for any opportunity to be able to keep their doors open, we are now going to regulate them and tell them we're going to fine you if you do not separate the boys' toys and the girls' toys. Now, my personal opinion, does this really matter? I mean, can't we just have the Tonka trucks, the trucks and fire stuff here, the T-sets here, you don't have to say what gender they are, just those are the different types of toys. I don't understand why we are getting into this level of minutia. It is big brother government foisting and hoisting, whatever you want to call it, foisting its values upon individuals, upon businesses. And in a time and a place where business needs less regulation, the last thing we need to do is be instituting a stupid law like this, which is just going to do nothing more than create more regulation. Once again, we want to encourage you to oppose AB 1084. All right, now we're on to AB 101, and this is an ethnic studies requirement for graduation. Now, many of you have probably heard the debate over critical race theory. Well, the California State Board of Education has passed a policy approving approving an ethnic studies curriculum that, while it is not CRT, it is heavily based in CRT, and many of the core principles of it are based in critical race theory. And if you don't know, watch 2 shows ago, the one we had where we had Kevin McGarry on to talk about critical race theory and the issues and the problems with critical race theory. And folks, this is now what they want to foist and hoist upon our children. They want our children to be indoctrinated with this, which I can't really think of a better term, but this racist philosophy that is about telling our children, quite frankly, if you're white, you're a suppressor and you're racist and there's nothing that you can do about it. And if you're black, well, you're suppressed and you're being You're having racism foisted upon you, and there's no way that you can overcome it. And that, that's kind of an oversimplification, but that is it in a nutshell. It talks about how America is just basically a racist country. Folks, we don't want this taught in our schools. We honestly do not. We do not want this as a graduation requirement. Imagine having this as a graduation requirement. We definitely need to come against this particular bill by Assemblyman Jose Medina. That's California Assembly Bill 101. All right, now, folks, these are just 4 bills that we've been talking about. There are a ton of other bills that are in existence in the California State Legislature. I want to encourage you. Look up organizations like the Capital Resource Institute, like the California Family Council, groups like Gun Owners of California, the Firearms Policy Coalition. These are groups, the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association. These are groups that advocate for you, that advocate for taxpayers, that advocate for parents, that advocate for people of faith, that advocate for gun owners. These are really lobbying organizations. What we do at CRA is we are a grassroots membership organization that helps get people elected because while I forget who said the saying, but there's the old saying is, good laws do good, good men do better. And so we want to make sure, men and women, we want to make sure that we're doing the best that we can to help elect good people to office so that, we don't see legislation like this. Or at the very least, hopefully legislation like this doesn't, in fact, become law. Because we know for every bad bill we kill, they're going to bring it back. Someone is going to bring that bad idea back. So anyway, folks, that's going to be it for this edition of CRA TV. Please take a moment and take action now by following the Take Action link in the description of this video. Matter of fact, I'll tell you what, we'll make sure that we have a link to each bill in the description of that video. Now, when you go there, you're going to see a page. You're going to see each page. It's going to have a description of the bill. It's going to tell you who authored it. There's going to be a link so that you can read the bill for yourself. You can see where it's at in the legislative process. Folks, it's real simple. We're really trying to make it that simple for you. But please be active, be engaged, and encourage your friends to do the same. And remember, tell them about the California Republican Assembly, the conscience of the Republican Party. We'll talk to you later.